H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's number one urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, but we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live on this great, oh, baby Friday. It's Thursday. A lot of action last night, a lot of chatter over Twitter. Boy, y'all, let me tell you something, man. Y'all funny to me, but let me tell y'all something. I've matured over this last year. And I ain't gonna let y'all get me in the middle of this mess, but this high school basketball mess. But shout out to the several people who won. I'm gonna wait till Jimmy get on because that's his deal. High school basketball players who won and teams who won last night. And you know, hey, the rest of them, they got to put this stuff in mothballs. I've done it before. Everybody have been in that position before. So, but it's just I was just thinking about some things. Share some stuff and you know just put stuff in perspective. I saw some parents going to one game. I saw a group of parents uh, going to the Manville game, and I saw a post, and I think the parents said the basketball aunties were in the building. They pulled zero punches like me. I guess my son's village, since he stepped on foot on an AAU court as a second grader with D. Gibbs hoop. This was from Waukesha Hayes. She was just talking about the group of moms uh, that she became friends with, and they've been rolling with her son and her family. I guess I don't know. Maybe if they on here, they can paraphrase it for me. I mean, make it more clear. But before I go any further, I saw that and it warmed my heart because this is what I think this stuff should be all about. Uh, Starting five today is Chris Charles, Brandon Nickerson, Rick Timms. I mean, excuse me, Rick Wilmore, Troy Callahan, Thaddeus Moody, and Doug Jones. First time ever, he's the sixth man today. I see some people who ain't been over here in a while. He says great to be, yeah. But it's okay. It's okay. We gonna guess what? We're gonna be all right. But I thought about these parents. She said all of basketball. I saw the basketball moms saying they've been together. Y'all, this is really what this stuff should be about. The relationships you build on the way. God, somebody calling me about an interview. The relationships you build on the way, and this is what it should be all about. Because let me tell you something. All you folks finna brag about your team. I'm glad to be a Cougar and all that stuff. That shit gonna be over. That stuff is that stuff is gonna be over. The basketball career, I told y'all about my son's career. This stuff is gonna be over soon. Then where you gonna be? Then what you gonna do? You just gonna pick up and just go cheer for somebody else's kid, I guess, then for the next 4 years. So sometimes we got to, you know, sometimes we got to, man, I heard stuff was heated in the gym. That's why I don't go, y'all, let me tell y'all something. This year in high school basketball, I had the greatest peace of mind. I didn't have to go to none of these gyms. Thank you, COVID. You know, sometimes I didn't have to go. I didn't have to hear all this mess. You know, but my phone keep ringing. And you notice I was a different Robert Hatter this year about high school basketball. Coach, you know what I realized? That's Jimmy's job. That's Jimmy's career. It ain't my career. I'm just here to help and hope I can help guide some parents and their kids through this process and help them and have an enjoyable time with the kid in high school and then their kid in college, just like I did. So I've been over and over and over talking about that. I mean, I've been consistent about that. So that's I mean that's what it's about. I saw something. I saw something about Sylvester Turner. He was thinking that think about this: the Titans, the Jaguars, and the Colts, the Texans, three divisional rivals. They all gave some money to the Harris County relief storm relief fund. Uh, and I want to talk about this today too. I saw this. I saw some stuff, man. I want to talk about Tiger before Jimmy get on. I hadn't had a chance to talk about. Y'all can keep talking about high school basketball if you want to. Because we're going to talk about that the whole time. But I thought about something. A guy, Tiger Woods, right? Uh, I'm an avid golfer. I got him behind. I know some people don't like him. Some people don't like because Trump like him. But I've been blessed enough to meet the kid a long time ago. Tried to represent him. I think I told you the story. And just in case you didn't know, let me see. I gotta check this picture out. Check this picture out. Unique picture. One of a kind. This particular day, when Penny was playing for Orlando Magic, Penny stayed in this place called Isleworth, very exclusive community. Google it, Isleworth. All the top stars, all the you got to have a lot of money to live over there, and that's where Penny used to live. So I used to always be out on the golf course. One day on the golf course, I'm out there playing, messing around. Tiger was over there practicing too. And I said, man, and we had met on a plane before because like I said, I tried to represent him, and he asked where Penny was. I said he's at the house, and he said, show me where he lived. I took him around. I took him around to where he had his golf cart. I had mine. Went around. Him and Penny went in. I mean, they just met. I introduced them, and the first thing I'm gonna show you what greatness is. First thing they wanted to do. They wanted to play ping pong against each other. They wanted to play video games against each other. They wanted to shoot pool. They so competitive. They wanted to. I mean, I said that's that day, y'all. And and do y'all notice everybody? That's a long time ago, y'all. That's everybody got on Nike. We didn't add that. We didn't try to do that. That was a random meeting. Yeah, it's a lot of money on that pick. Minus me, but yeah, but the reason I wanted to share that with y'all, because the place where Tiger was staying and he was leaving that place to go to the Rolling Hills Golf Course that's up off Hawthorne Boulevard. I've been blessed. My daughter lives in LA. I've been to that Terranea. It's a resort. I think I came back and bragged to y'all about. I stayed at this resort that looked like you wasn't in America. It's in Palos Verdes, and it was just so it was surreal because I know exactly where he went and exactly where he sped up at, and how he could have if you wasn't paying attention, going too fast, you can pick up. Y'all can literally. It's a 45 mile per hour thing. But if you're going down this hill, you can pick up steam quickly. And if he wasn't paying attention and came up early, and moved in an SUV, if you do that, it'll wobble. I don't know what happened now. I'm just saying. And went off the road and flipped. But it was so unique. And I just got to share y'all. Y'all quit laughing at me. Them wasn't baggy. Those was warm-up suits. Rick Brown, that was a warm-up suit. That wasn't a baggy pants. And that's when I used to wear the flip-flops with my feet out. I mean, y'all, it was crazy. But when I think about Tiger, and I just want to share some with y'all. He changed my TV habits, y'all. No one was more connected than Tiger Woods. No matter what sport, people, especially athletes and coaches and college coaches, they're fascinated by the guy because a lot of them play golf. All they want to talk about is him. In football and tennis and baseball and basketball. All they wanted to talk about is Tiger. He's a remarkable, transcendent, and yet connected figure in that regard. Let me give you some history. And we're gonna talk about it because I'm trying to wait on the basketball guru, the high school basketball guru to come on. I don't want to repeat some of this stuff, y'all. So that's why I'm just giving you some stuff that he can't give you. I'm giving you some stuff about Tiger Woods right now. But Tiger Woods, I'm an avid golfer. I got in the game before Tiger Woods. I didn't get Fred Couples. If you Google that name, Fred Couples is the reason I started playing golf. Went to University of Houston, one of the greatest golfers ever. But when I think about Tiger and how he liked to go fast, he liked to drive. He liked to drive fast. But Tiger Woods was on TV by 3 years old. Okay, some of the people, Mindy, I don't know if y'all know that he was on TV by the time he was 3. He had an agent by the time he was 11. He was a legend by the time he was 15. He was worshiped by the time he was 20. He was a hero to many by the time he was 25. Somebody said on the show the other day, they said, the great F. Scott Fitzgerald, author, he said, find me a hero and I'll write you a tragedy. Find me a hero and I'll write. Think about Tiger, y'all. He changed the way we looked at golf. Golf became cool. It became athletic. It became alpha. Made a lot of people want to go out and play golf. You know some of your friends. Well, didn't never think about playing golf. The only athlete in my life I can say is comparable is Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's last game. Y'all check this out. I'm going to show you the value the guy like this guy behind me and Michael Jordan bring to this sport when y'all get to talking about him and all that kind of stuff. Let me show you something. Michael Jordan's last game in the NBA had 36 million viewers. Landon, walk with me. We're going to get to high school basketball, I promise you. Check this out. Last year, the finals had 8 million viewers. The last series that Michael Jordan had ever played in against Utah, check this out, averaged 29 million and a half million viewers. It's Michael Jordan. Last year, the finals did 8 million. I'm just helping you. I'm just helping you, Thaddeus Moody, because some of this stuff, y'all, we ain't going to get. We ain't going to get. I'm just helping you. No, Walter Yates, I don't think he'll play competitive again. It's just me, and I'll tell you why a little bit later. I'm glad you said that. Check this out. The following year, when Michael retired, the Knicks was in the finals. They got half that viewership. Y'all follow me. Let me show you why I love Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods when you hear me talk about them. Tiger's first 3, these two black men, man, just made a whole lot of people a whole lot of money. Yeah, yes, Rick, yes, LeBron, yeah, 8 million. I just want to show you what these two black men did. Jimmy done popped on, but I'll get him in a second. Tiger Woods' first 2 Masters appearances, y'all, he didn't have quite the brand yet, okay? But he got an NFL playoff type rating of 14. That's double the average. They used to call, let me tell you, they got this place called Sports Intelligence. They call it, in the marketing world, they call it the Tiger Woods effect. I got you, Jimmy. When he started out on tour, y'all. I'm going to help you. Jimmy finna come and y'all, we're going to talk some high school basketball. When he started on tour, people, check this out. Y'all got to hear these numbers. When he started on tour, people made $101 million in prize money, the whole tour. By the time he left, they were making $300 million. Tiger Woods would crush and humiliate you. But he doubled your paycheck, y'all, and the players understood that. Think about this. Y'all help me out. Y'all help me out. Y'all help me out. Because I didn't get a chance to talk about this the other day. Y'all remember Brett Favre? How cool he was. Southern, had the Miss Western charm. He was a Packer. He won. He was cool from coast to coast. He retired in 2010, Jimmy. And the ratings did not move in 2011. Dale Griggs, golf has been around for more than any sports in the world. But when Tiger left, half the Masters audience left. And I can go on and on. When people talk about it's a big deal about this guy having a wreck, and I'm just so, thank God, it would be, think about it. If something had to happen, if the wrong turn had to happen, he'd have hit a telegram pole, and that cabin in that Genesis had to collapse. Tiger wouldn't have been here, y'all. Do y'all realize that would have been the second year in a row and almost a month apart? The reason I'm bringing it together, that we could have almost lost another icon like that. Lost Kobe last year. So that's why, yes, I love Tiger Woods. And now, without further ado, let me bring Jimmy in the building. Let me see if I got him. I got him. Jimmy, let me get you. Jimmy got another Tiger photo. Yeah, we'll keep it like that. Jimmy, you got that Tiger photo. But Jimmy, how you doing, man? I had to share that because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday went by. I didn't have a chance to talk about Tiger Woods, and I cannot talk about this guy because it's just so many connections. And you probably wasn't hearing the people who just to show you, I'm not just not a guy talking as a fan. It's a guy that happened to be blessed enough. Let me put it on the screen again. Not that one. To be hold on a second. To be blessed enough to meet this young man. Oh, I don't even know where it went. But put it on the screen a while ago. Okay, there it is right there. No, that's not it. But here it is. Had enough long time ago to meet this young man. These two, I'm standing next to these two icons, two very, very powerful young men. This when he was a youngster. Y'all look at him. He's taller than people think. When you see him on TV, you don't look tall. Yeah, I'm 6'1", so he's about 6'2". So I just wanted to share that with y'all. And today, so now we got Jimmy. Now we can get to talking about what y'all want to talk about. I didn't want to double talk about that because I wasn't at no game last night. So what's up, Jimmy? What's going on, man?
Yeah, I'm first. Yeah, we got it's this day. We got so much to cover. Of course, high school basketball. Somebody had people ask me, "What time you gonna talk about high school basketball?" Yeah, we got a lot. It's playoffs. Definitely gonna talk about that. But first, back to that picture that you just put up on this screen.
Man, hold up, man. Hold up, man. Stop it, man. Stop it.
Bring that picture back.
No, I'm not. I'm not. No.
Bring that picture back. The people got to see this. They got to see this. I got to get them analysis, a breakdown.
That one.
No, hell no. Not that. That right there. Look here, guys. Check this out. Show y'all something. A true Memphis. Difference between Memphis and Houston. Right now, in case y'all never knew, this was pure Hatter, right? Whenever you see a Negro put a T-shirt in his pants and got on some sandals with his feet sticking out, that Negro from Memphis. Don't and you can let it off the screen you want to. Then look at that. Look. Got his feet with some sandals on with a T-shirt in his wrist. He know he ain't from H-Town.
Jimmy. We had company. Jimmy had company. You know, my mama.
But why they got on socks and tennis then? You got on sandals.
No, Jimmy. I had Jimmy. Let me explain. Let me tell you what happened. I was on the golf course. And Tiger, I saw him on the golf course, and he said, "Where's Penny?" And I got in the golf cart and we went around. I had my golf shoes on. When I take my golf shoes on, I want to put some on comfortable. And I put those, I had my flip-flops on afterwards. And I don't like the one with the socks because guess what? I'm blessed to have feet that don't look too crazy. You know, I get pedicures all the time. So my feet all right. So that's what you had to hate. I had my t-shirt in. We had company. Me and Ty, I had company. Come on.
Hey man, get this thing off the screen. Let's talk first. Get off the screen. Now, first, I promised you guys yesterday we would go over the McDonald's All-American game and basically explain. Let me see. Do I have my sheets? I think I might do. Yeah, I got them right here. McDonald's game selectees. Of course, yesterday's show, we had the two young ladies, Rory Harmon and Kendall Hunter, on the Chop Shop. And we mentioned yesterday they were the only two girls from the state of Texas that were selected. Also on the boys' side, we did not mention to you guys, shout out to Harrison Ingram. We had his father on the Chop Shop a couple of years ago, and he was selected along with Damian Collins of Atlanta, Texas. He's up there near Texarkana, and he's a long, tall kid committed to Kentucky. And now, as for Harrison Ingram, he's going to Stanford.
Yes.
Two young men who came through the ranks, established their status around shortly after their sophomore seasons, or during the sophomore seasons. And I remember when we had the dad on was shortly after when they were 10th graders, this class. There was another kid from Texas who was ranked higher in all of the polls. Mm-hmm. And that was Langston Love. And Langston Love was playing up with the Houston Hoops at the time in that particular summer. And Langston Love, it did well. Remember, that was the year that L.J. Cryer had missed the most of the summer. Tremont Mark and Langston Love was in the back, was basically 1A and 1B of that Hoops team. Not many people had, at the time was willing to give Tremont Mark them accolades because Langston Love was a youngster. He was getting it done. His body is college ready. Mm-hmm. Went over to Montverde. Cade Cunningham was at Montverde. Langston Love played under the shadows of Cade Cunningham. Mm-hmm. And it was still learning at that team, which people still is in the debate of, is that one of the best teams ever? That team that Cade played on last year. Langston was from the San Antonio area. He went there, of course. It worked out for Cade Cunningham. He went there for 1 year, got that quick splash, took care of business. Payal. Langston Love didn't, even though he was ranked in the 20s, had like around 24 in the country on ESPN.com. Mm-hmm. Langston Love was not selected. Harrison Ingram eventually ended up passing Langston Love up on the polls. Stayed at his high school pretty much.
So Langston Love didn't make the McDonald All-American team?
No.
I just not figured that out.
I think that last guard spot went to the young fella, the shortest player on the team, Deshaun Ruffin out of Mississippi.
Bad man.
That the last spot.
Bad man.
As far as guards. No, they take so many guards, they take its position. A lot of people don't realize it like that. It's position.
Yes.
They take only so many of this. Now you got some guys, if you're fortunate enough to be a two-way or a three-way player offensively, then guess what? They can parlay you into whatever hole or peg slot that they choose to. Well, my thing is, it worked out for him. Now, what happens is when people don't make the game, then they'll come back and say, oh, man, we ain't worried about that game. All that. Then you start thinking of ways to discount it. That's just the same thing with rankings.
They're supposed to.
When you don't make it, you discount it.
They're supposed to.
And I find that interesting because of the fact
Jimmy, what would you do? What would you do? Tell me, what would you do if you didn't make it? What would you do? If you did all of that and didn't make it, what would you come back and say?
Well, you use it somehow as your motivation to
No,
get
what
better.
would you come back and say? I ain't talking about the motivation. What would you come back? Somebody asked, what would you come back and say?
Well, if I was a bubble kid, you mean in a situation like that, like on the bubble, that had a realistic chance of making it?
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably say, well, man, I thought I did enough to make it. These guys obviously didn't think I did. You know what? Then I'm gonna somehow channel that inward, and be able to come back and prove them wrong and make me get better. I'm not going to, I don't think I would be the guy to say, man, this whole thing process and read.
Oh, I
that's
see
the
what
case.
you're saying.
If that's the case,
I got you.
If that's the case, then that applies to everything that you participated in.
Right.
You talking about, you think that's just rigged, then you don't think that your grassroots team playing on this pool or playing against this team and they manipulating you to do and getting you on certain teams or getting you somewhere, that was a rigged process. So it wasn't pure. So politics come with the play. Favor ain't fair. I said it yesterday. But meanwhile, let's, instead of beating up on him, because I just use him as one of many examples. What I'm getting to. Here's the thing: if you look at the McDonald's and watch this closely, I said it yesterday. Normally, toward the end, normally the top 20 are about 90 proof that you'll make the team. It's about a 90% chance if you're on in the
top 20
in 2 or 3 national polls within their top 20 of any combination of 2 to 3, then you have probably got a 90% chance as a senior. As we're talking 12th graders, guys, not 10th, 11th, 9th, 12th graders. Well, this is what this means. If you think I'm joking, it doesn't say about 90 proof. That means every year, on the average, there's going to be one player that's in the top 20 that probably won't make it. Well, that means that's a 95%. 2 don't make it, that's 90%. So it's about, I'm saying it's at least 90 proof. Well, this year, all 20 of the top players on ESPN.com, all 20 of them made it on the boys' side we're talking about. That means how many spaces are left now?
4, is it 4?
4.
Okay.
So 4 spaces are left. Out of the next, here's where it gets tricky this year. Now, this is this year. This could be setting a new precedent, or it just could be one of those things that's, just a ripple in the tide. Guess how many of the from 20 to 30 got picked of those next 4 slots?
From 20 to 30, you told me 1.
1.
From 20, so those next 10,
so from 21 to 30,
none of them got picked. 1 got picked. Okay.
And that was number 20, and that was number 28. I'm talking of the ESPN.
Okay, you're talking about ESPN. So it's some mad ass mammas and daddies. It's some mad mammas and daddies right now. Yeah. It's 9 mad mamas and daddies, Jim.
Yeah.
Okay. So
and so now you go to, so that means conventionally you think, well, and that's, understand, every year not like that. Like Ruffin, he's ranked in the mid to late 30s on ESPN.
But Jimmy, they needed a guard though.
They could have got Langston Love.
Where was Langston Love at?
Like 24, something like that.
Oh, I see where you're getting. Okay, keep going. Keep going. Maybe they just didn't feel he was McDonald. He was one of the top 20. He might be ranked. Hold on. He might be ranked in the top 20 whatever, Jimmy. But maybe they just didn't deem him worthy of the McDonald vote.
No. That's obvious. It's a collective panel. Okay. And understand. But Langston Love did not get picked because of lack of exposure. He starts for Montverde.
Wait a minute. Who said? Oh, well, that's something that you absolutely know.
Oh, no, that's something that's a fact. It wasn't because it was a lack of exposure.
Oh, it wasn't because. Okay,
it wasn't because of lack of exposure.
Okay, because he played for the number 1 team in the world.
That's one of the things that you went and moved and changed that school for.
I see what you're saying. You left Houston. You left Texas to go to be nationally, and you got it. and still didn't make it. Jimmy, that's I don't think it's the kid's fault because he played his butt off.
No, it's not a bashing on him.
No.
It's the equation, of the equation that anybody could go in that slot. And this is not a bashing of Langston Love, nor his family. We love what he's done. He's a great player.
Good kid too.
And guess what? He's the perfect tool for the system which he's going in, and that's Baylor.
Yes.
Think about it. Baylor likes guards.
I got a question.
Like him.
I got a question because just your gut feeling. Because, you telling us what happened, but guess what? You know how we are. You know how I am. Why? How does that happen? You're playing for the number one team in the country. You start on that team. You're the 24th ranked player in the nation. And the McDonald people don't deem you should be on this team and go down in the 30s and pick another guard. Was it somebody just lacked that guard that much at 30? It had to be more than one person. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure this thing out.
Ruffin, first of all, when you're small like that, and he played the EYBL as a sophomore, there was no EYBL last summer. Mm-hmm. So all of these kids pretty much missed the dynamic or the opportunity to improve their stock collectively on a similar platform. That was abandoned for everybody. Well, when Ruffin was a 10th grader, and all these kids were 10th graders, Ruffin was a leading scorer on his team in the EYBL, and he was grouped. So people remember that moving forward. Not and he was, I guess it's from what they can do. There's no game this year. There's going to be people that don't get picked for one reason or another. Obviously, he didn't get the votes. So, but it's not about who didn't get now. It's about who did. So Ruffin is the only player that was picked of the 24. Get this. The only one, Howard, who's under 6'1". The only one under 6'1". And under 6 foot.
He ain't no regular 6'1". When you under 6'1" and you jump and you can touch the top of the backboard, I don't call you 6'1", but keep going. But he is under 6'1". Yeah.
So this thing, remember, it was just a week and a half ago when the McDonald's All-American Committee released the nominees. Remember, and you had the people that got nominated, and they were going to social media, and people they're not knowing any better, making themselves believe that they were going to the McDonald's game. And I told you guys, hold tight. Every year, McDonald's have done this since 1978. This is one of the best marketing schemes, one of the best community service projects ever created was the McDonald's All-American game. Because everything from the Ronald McDonald House, right, that's a nonprofit arm, right, that's affiliated through Koch, whoever the original owner of the McDonald's back in the days, the McDonald's Corporation. Well, this thing, what it does is it gives advertising that will circulate throughout the pores of the country, whereas wherever there's a McDonald's, they have to embrace this. Every high school coach has the ability to nominate a player. They receive an email package. They receive this early in the season. Nominate your players. It used to be 10,000 nominees, guys. Look it up for yourself. It used to be 10,000 people that got nominated. Each would receive a certificate, and you would have to go to your nearest Jimmy, McDonald's.
Why was people bragging about the nominations when anybody?
And guess what? It's a merit. And that don't mean not, but just understanding how the process goes.
I understand.
It's a good merit.
What's the
nomination
value?
process psychologically, Adam? Psychologically, it plays into the psyche, and it gives you self-esteem. It gives a young man. But understand how easy the process is. Your high school coach simply can just write your name down, and you could be nominated. That lets you know how many coaches don't nominate players in a particular area. Texas, by the way, had the most nominees this year of any state. We had the most nominees. I think we had 78 nominees out of the final, whatever the number was they released a couple of weeks ago. But those kids, and one of our viewers kind of broke down to me the other day the process from the McDonald's side, like the corporate side. That you got the basketball side, but the corporate side is another part of it. That, like, wow, Harrison Ingram had do you know his father?
McDonald's.
His father owns and just recently sold multiple McDonald's, and now he owns some in Central Texas.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So Harrison Ingram, father, Mr. Ingram, is already family.
Okay.
To the McDonald's family.
Yeah.
So one of our viewers that's on the Chop Shop, if you guys can see him on there all the time, David Dennis, he's recently took a job about a year or two ago. He's an executive. He's a regional district manager for McDonald's Corporation. He worked for Tillman Fertitta. Then he went over and gave him a sweet ass hard deal with McDonald's. He couldn't turn that down. You get to sleep in your own bed, and you just basically go and travel from city to city, checking on making sure that the checkpoints the boxes are all checked off. So
Alex Castero, hey Alex, I'm gonna put that on the screen. Alex, a lot of people don't really even understand that. And Alex, they're gonna have to go to that thing about McDonald's. They ain't in the burger business. They're a real estate company. And that's the greatest thing that you get. Thank you, Alex. I didn't want to go there because it's just too much to explain. Because you tell people that, they'll say, well, what the hell are you talking about? But keep on going with your story, Jim.
Yeah. And so this was mentioning about him, about the Mr. Ingram and his son making it is like extra. Remember, man, now McDonald's black owners are already going through in the midst of a class action lawsuit against the corporation. Meanwhile, there's because the thing that has been one of the things that's also transpired from that is the fact that a lot of the black owners, if you notice, a lot of them, not saying every single one, but a lot of them, the vast majority of the black owners that own McDonald's are in the non-suburban communities. And what happens is when those guys get ready to expand their and buy another location, open another location, then they're often denied if they want to go into an affluent community. Well, what that means, the turnover for employees in the urban area is greater than it is in the suburban areas for those McDonald's corporation owners. The margins are smaller in those areas than it is in the affluent areas. So if you're denying me the opportunity to open up a store in River Oaks, but you're letting the next guy that don't look like me open up that store in River Oaks, and you notice a pattern, same thing happens in the Woodlands, same thing happens in Katy, same things happen. So then that means you have documented, like, whoa, something ain't right. They want you to keep growing them and expanding them over in the wards, but not in the suburbs. So that's the thing. But back to the McDonald game, guys. This stuff is, first of all, if you want to know the list of voters, send us an email, I send you the list of every voter that's on the committee for the McDonald's All-American game. ChopShopHTX@gmail.com. And what happens is, so along the way, if you have a player that, in all likelihood, let's get this straight first of all, this is the longest drought that Houston has had in 20 years, if I'm not mistaken, from getting a player in the McDonald's game. Meaning that this is the 3 years since we've had a player selected out of H-Town, out of Greater Houston. That was Quentin Grimes. So that was 2018. So 2019, there's been none, 2020, and now 21. Once again, in 20 years, there's not been this big of a gap from H-Town, meaning we've had a presence there at least once every other year. So I was looking on this list, which I had from them in the magazine last year, 2 years ago. The last player from that was selected to the McDonald game from just say from Houston. I can go say from Texas. We've had a couple, I think, that did not play on a sneaker circuit. Was who? Once again, first, the last player from Houston selected that did not play with the sneaker-sponsored grassroots team. Going back on the list from out of Houston, over the past 20 years, Al? None of them. There hasn't been a player selected that from H-Town that did not play grassroots on the 17U grassroots basketball. There's not been one. So that don't mean, now I know that, I want to say Andrew Jones, was it from out of Dallas? I want to say, was it Andrew Jones? Was the last one of the very few that did not play sneaker circuit? I want to say that. You guys can correct me if you will. And I'm waiting on, we got an 8-second delay. I'm just curious. From Texas, the last player. So my point is, for you guys out there, and you're thinking about, and the kids in the 11th grade, and you're going to scream that he's going to be a McDonald All-American, understand the odds that are stacked against him if he's not playing on that platform. Let's not fool yourselves into, and then when he don't make it, you'll make it seem like the system is flawed.
Somebody said pro skills. He said he played with pro skills, Lauren Scott.
So can you name a player from Texas in the past 20 years that made the McDonald's game that did not play on the sneaker circuit and as a 17U? I'm just curious. I think it's one. I just can't put my finger on which person it was.
I don't know. I'm just loving this boom boom room right now. I'm just letting you keep on talking. You keep on, Jimmy. You do what you do. They got about 30,000 different conversations going on. But keep on.
That's a good thing.
That's a great thing.
Now, meanwhile, we go and we wait on those answers.
Take a break, though, Jim.
We take a break and we come right back and talk about these playoffs from last night. These basketball playoffs, and we're gonna get right into it. It was a lot of surprises last night.
Oh, yes, sir.
And guess what? We'll talk about the High Tower in Crosby.
Yeah.
Talk about the Beaumont United in Foster. We'll talk about the Ridge Point in Bel Air. We'll talk about those three. We'll go and talk in Region 2. Westfield goes down last night. I mean, it was rocking around the area.
Guess what? I don't know too much about it. I'm going to just soak up all of this stuff when we get on break, because I'm loving this stuff on Boom Boom Room.
And guess what?
What?
There's a team that endured a situation where they had contact tracing and almost had to forfeit out of the playoffs. A team that made it to state last year. I'll tell you about that when we come back.
Jimmy, my homegirl Sonya, man. Sonya, why you say that while we going to the break? She said it was a super spreader at the game last night. Jimmy, you was at the super spreader last night. Man, I can't wait. I can't wait.
I got one of these.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
I got one of them.
I know you didn't stay the whole time, but I can't wait.
I got the vaccine. I'm good. Y'all do what you want to do.
We'll
I got the vaccine, baby. I'm good. My own.
Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks. And I just want to put a shout out to Sapphire Realty and Miss Patricia Barnes. Y'all, if any of your realty needs, she can take care of you. You might have, let me tell you, especially your new home buyers. I think she can even help you with a new apartment if you want to. But give her a call at 281-730-3248. Boy, I'm so proud. I love when women, I told y'all women rock. I told y'all women rock. So now we got a woman that can teach you how, Coach Leah, we got a woman can coach you, a life coach you into positions, your higher positions in corporate America. We got a woman that can get you a house. And guess what? We got something coming soon for you women and men. It's gonna be off the chain. So, but Jimmy, let me tell you something, man. My phone rang so many times last night. I didn't want to ring. I didn't answer. I was doing so, y'all. Sometimes, y'all, I got a career. I got stuff that I do. Sometimes it take late at night, so I didn't have time to listen to y'all stuff. I saw the game, but it's a lot of stuff happened in sports last night, Jimmy. I'll let you, this your wheelhouse, this your mess. I'm gonna let you unravel this mess. I'm gonna put on pause for a minute, and Jimmy, and I'm gonna be able to hear, but I'm gonna be off screen. So have at it, Jimbo.
Yeah, man. Last night, of course, we go around the horn with first Ridge Point and Bel Air. They played. Ridge Point has been rocking guys this season, and one of the toughest, arguably the toughest district from top to bottom in the state of Texas. Well, Bel Air lost their leading rebounder, their second leading scorer, their leading shot blocker, in Jacob Cole a couple of weeks ago with a finger injury. He's out for about another couple of weeks. So they knew they were without him. This is not the same Bel Air team that helped produce the record that surged them through only one loss this season, right? Well, Ridge Point, they have very good guard play, very good guard play. And the thing about it, and they're battle tested. They came in this game, jumped right on Bel Air, and next thing you know, up to a double-digit lead, 35-17 at the half, never looked back. Luis Rodriguez, 14 points. Reggie Prudhomme had 11. Caleb Hill, Zach Gunselin, both of them had 10. Kobe Granger, that's the son of Kevin Granger, the athletic director. The administrator over the athletic administrator over at TSU, his son had 8. I mean, this team is just deep. I mean, you got to get a kid like TJ Ford Jr. comes off the bench and would start at least half the high schools in the greater Houston. He's bought in, meaning that he don't play a whole lot. His daddy is an NBA, what they call it, a legacy kid. That's what they call him, the term legacy. Well, they're not sitting there moping after the games about playing. They've bought in. So a lot of these players, when you see they've bought into a program, you're going to get good cohesiveness. Sure, the thing that's scary about this team, this same Ridge Point team, catch this. 2 years ago, right? In the 9th grade, when the 11th graders in the 9th grade, that class, 2 years ago, this Ridge Point team had PJ Haggerty starting on varsity. PJ Haggerty was at Ridge Point starting on varsity. He left after he came from one of the schools in Baytown, went to Ridge Point, then left there, went to Crosby. Crosby, which we'll talk about in a minute, has made it and picked up a very good win last night over Hightower. But guess what? That Crosby team, as good as they are and as good as they were last night, guess who was supposed to be who was in the starting lineup 2 seasons ago? Caleb Stewart, who's the leading scorer at Atascocita. Caleb Stewart was at Crosby. So just imagine the what ifs. What if Caleb Stewart was at Crosby now? What if PJ Haggerty was still at Ridge Point now? And we can go on and on, all the way back to what if Jarrell Colbert and Keon Edwards were still Sam Rayburn High School right now. But let's get back, and not to mention the fact that a bunch of the what ifs from the kids that are over at Legacy, the School of Sports Sciences, was some of those that would have stayed or could have stayed the Heights High School. How about that? The Old Reagan Heights. They had 2 starters transferred away before Ralph Barreras got there and took over. The Heights are in the 3rd round of the playoffs. The Heights would have had PJ Neal in this lineup now. And they would have had, what's the other young man named? Doug, you can help me out. The kid who moved over to Arizona, transferred to a high school in Arizona. I think he's going to Harvard or something like that. Where's, if I'm not mistaken? Give me the name. He was a starter at the Heights. Tyler Simon. There you go, Doug. Right on cue. So now let's get back to this game last night. So Ridge Point, remember that I mentioned to you, battle tested, very battle tested this year. I'm looking on. Where's my little old bracket at? Adam, pull my bracket out, get my bracket for you guys, and let's see. Well, I'm going to the website. I go to rcssports.com and I pull up the bracket right now for the playoffs. Ridge Point will go now. Excuse me. They will face Cy Creek. And Cy Creek, that's a very good matchup. Cy Creek beat Travis the other day, 74-54. This Ridge Point and Side Creek game, I really believe that's a pick 'em. That's a pick 'em right there. DJ Richard has been playing some very good basketball as of late. I've been playing good all season, but very good as of late. And then, not to mention, Corey Hadnot has put himself into a Robin role. So he's hit 2 buzzer beaters, key buzzer beaters in the last 2 games. Well, the buzzer beater earlier this week against Lamar for second overtime. The one last night was at halftime. That gave them an extra dose of momentum. They were already beating Bel Air. I'm sorry, they were beating Travis easily, but that now I don't know who I'm gonna pick on this game, but Ridge Point and Side Creek, very intriguing. I think I'm gonna roll with Ridge Point on that one. Elkins plays the Heights Saturday at Hobson. Elkins in the Heights Saturday at Hobson. I think Heights are just happy to be here. They got to the 3rd round. Understand, you beat Cy-Fair, you beat Bush, you're playing Elkins, which is Elkins bring a whole degree of defense that you probably hadn't seen all year. Elkins, they are disciplined. They are not, nobody on the team is trying to score 20. They getting it in. Summer Creek and Shadow Creek, the rematch. Both of those teams won last night. Summer Creek beat Clearbrook 71-68. Shadow Creek beat Westbrook in overtime, avoiding an upset. Sean Jones fouled out in that game, and they had Westbrook had a very good defensive scheme that they applied to Shadow Creek. It's just that they put them that, and schemes are meant and game plans are meant how to put yourself in a position where you can just be able to get them now to the point where you can have a chance to win. And that's what you do. And that, for Westbrook, a lot of you guys may not understand who's the head coach at Westbrook. That's Andre Butte, who's the former head coach at Beaumont Ozan when they went to state in those back-to-back years. And then over at Bush High School, he briefly coached over at Port Arthur. But Andre Butte is in the Hall of Fame as an active coach right now. He's one of the very few. Especially brothers. Mm-hmm. He and Ronnie Courtney, I don't know if there's another brother that's an active basketball coach of the high school ranks in UIL in Texas that's in the Hall of Fame right now. You guys let me know, help us out so we can acknowledge them and give them their flowers as well. But I heard Butte was masterful on that. He's known, he's what I call the python. What they call it, the boa constrictor. Which one of them had it squeezed to death?
Both of them.
Boa constrictor.
Both of them. Python.
Well, that's what Butte do to you.
Right.
They get that lead. He gonna get that needle like on the bicycle. You lick that needle before you put the air in and take all the air out the ball. I
hate them kind of coaches.
Hey, guess what?
I can't stand them coaches.
You know what it does? It makes the nominal crowd turn against you. But for most of them, those that stay with it, they get their results.
I can't stand them. Hall of Fame and all.
And you think about it. I'm gonna tell you another one. You get your ass behind against Beaumont United and watch what David Green do to you. It's something about that Southeast Texas down there. If you get behind Beaumont United, you gonna get that needle out.
I just don't like it. I mean, give me my $5 back if they come in there and do that shit. I want my money back.
But I'm saying something. The coaches they play against, though, Hannah, they know that will happen if your ass get behind. Going into the half or going into the fourth quarter, they are gonna spread that thing out. Because normally those coaches, those two they have in common, Butte and David Green, they thrive off, they normally gonna inherit good guard play. And you need the good guard play or disciplined guards to be able to protect and handle that ball when it comes time to be able to spread it out and be an extension of that coach on the floor. But Shadow Creek and Summer Creek, they played early this year. Shadow Creek won at the buzzer. They played early this year.
So they finna play again?
They play again. That game is likely to be played on Saturday. They are getting the details together today.
Jimmy, I got to renew my prescription for that little service because I had cut them off, and I run into.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, but it runs into 3. I got at least March 1st. I got the March 1st. So I need some more juice. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, you need some more juice.
Okay. Damn.
You don't need plenty more juice. It's a lot of good games around the area going on. Not just this weekend, but of course tonight we have the TV game live on the Cube 57. Well, it's 57 on most networks, or 53 if you have Xfinity. Cube TV Houston's got the high school game of the week. It's going to be Atascocita and Strake Jesuit. That's going to be the last game that will be played at Delmar Fieldhouse this season.
You see what Doug just told you? Refresh the brackets. He just updated the site and location. So, I like how y'all just do. Y'all see what kind of show we got? Yeah. Hey, this is what I love about the Chop Shop. Hey, but Jimmy, they getting it in. Hey, let me tell you something. This Jeff Johnson been waiting a year for him to come over here because he was quiet as the church house mouse last year. He been waiting a whole year. So Jeff, talk your shit. Talk your stuff, son. Because I know you've been waiting. Oh my goodness, you and Alfio, y'all probably got some t-shirts. Y'all probably got some t-shirts
that's
made.
The game, of course. That Ridge Point and Side Creek is going to be part of a double header, guys. Saturday at the Merrill Center, a double header.
Wait, who is this gonna be? Say it again.
It's going to be Shadow Creek and Summer Creek at 3 p.m.
Okay.
Ridge Point and Side Creek at 5 p.m.
Let me tell you something. I'll see it, y'all. I'm finna renew my subscription because I am not gonna be in them super spreaders with y'all at all. But guess what? I'm praying for all y'all. Jimmy, next time, Jimmy, let everybody else go get a shot with your selfish self. Why didn't you take everybody else and get some shots? Jimmy.
A shot of what?
A shot in for the I'm Jimmy.
Oh yeah, I got. Hey, Jim, I'm good.
Jimmy, I'm waiting on the Johnson because you don't have to have a one shot. I'm waiting on Mr. Johnson.
Okay.
I can Jimmy. Shh. I got stock in Johnson. But keep going.
now we going, of course, into the 5A bracket. Well, we go 4A first. We'll come to 5A last because we got a conversation about this 5A. Let's go to 4A and in the area, in Region 4. And what we're rooting for in Region 4 is Stafford.
Why didn't you put it up on the screen, Jimmy?
I don't know.
Don't worry about it. Okay.
Go. Stafford is awaiting the winner of tonight's game between Miller and Pleasanton. Stafford is the team that won Region 4 last year. If we can get Stafford to repeat through that bracket again, they're only 3 wins away. Then what would happen is the winner, Stafford, could possibly will play the winner of Region 3, 4A. Now, Region 3 in Class 4A has a very intriguing story to it. How about this? In the first round, Yates beat Sealy last Saturday, 95-71. Well, one of the players from Sealy went and, according to the Grapevine, had a positive COVID test. Right? Now, I don't know about you, but he went and got tested on Sunday. Allegedly tested positive. That means he felt he had it on Saturday. But decided to play anyway. Of course, the HIPAA Act law prevent, and protect, from releasing the actual name or just talking about medical stuff. Well, here's the deal. Sealy informed Yates, and then in turn had to form the school district HISD, which in turn had to form UIL. The UIL, Yates had implemented, and HISD had implemented a self-imposed, what they call it, quarantine for their players that took them at least 5 days, right? Yates players will be tested or have been tested, or being tested. Today is Thursday, today. Well, the thing was Sealy, from what I understand, according to my traps, somebody affiliated with Sealy also called Silsby, who's Yates' next opponent, and say, hey, man, y'all know we was dirty. We had a dirty player. Yates played us, so that means y'all need to go check with Yates because they might be dirty too. Y'all need to play, And so people from Yates wondering, was it just a premeditated, conspired effort to try to get them bumped out of the playoff bracket the way it went down? Not to say that the kid did not test positive, but the way it went down, right? So then Silsby, this game was supposed to originally have been played probably on Wednesday, right? On Wednesday, because Silsby played Tuesday night, Wednesday or Thursday. It was moved yesterday to Friday. The UIL made a decision and they stepped in and moved Yates' game versus Silsby to Friday night. That way the kids had 5 days quarantine plus the 1 day. And the UIL says that's good enough. This is not back in April of last year, or May or August of last year. We know that's good enough. And whoever tests, all those players have to test, and whichever ones are positive, they cannot play.
Man, all they little asses got it, man. All of these little folks got it around here. That's what people don't understand. What I'm finding out. Why you think I ain't been around? I ain't been in no practices. I went to one practice. Jimmy had a hazmat suit on. But they laughed at me when I came in there. Jimmy, I looked like Dr. Welby when I came in there. But hey, man, if they trying to do that, if that's the only way they think they can stop them mighty lions, it's just unbelievable, man.
And look, and so now that's the deal with Yates. Once again, Yates and Silsby game is moved to Friday, 5:30. It's in Dayton High School. I'm undecided if I'm gonna go and make that drive or not over there or not. I'm leaning toward it.
Yep.
If Yates wins, they will play Wharton Saturday, 5 p.m. at Hobson Fieldhouse. Once again, Yates fans, if Yates beats Silsby, and this Silsby team, they are the team. They're good this year. This is not the regular team. Understand? They play a lot of 9th and 10th graders on this varsity this year, Heather. A lot of 9th and 10th graders on the varsity this year at Silsby. That's remarkable. You put it like this. In their first game that they won the other night, they scored 68 points. Either a freshman or a sophomore helped produce damn near 50 of those 68 points. It was a freshman or a sophomore. So I think they are a year to 2 years. Next year because for 4A classification. Next year they're gonna be another contender. But the year after that, Silsby will be back. When these kids in 11th grade, they're back. They're gonna be back as a dominating force in the area. Now, that's the 4A news out the way. And we go to a quick break and come back and give you guys what you want. You wanted some of this 5A talk. We are here now to talk about this 5A matchups and what happened in the 5A last night. Beaumont United and Foster, of course, Hightower and Crosby. What went down? What happened? As the late great James Cleveland, Reverend James Cleveland says, who in the hell left the gate open?
Chop shop.
Talk about that on the chop shop.
In a minute.
Nerds need to stop ruining the fun of sports. Last weekend, Anthony Edwards threw down one of the best poster dunks in recent memory. And for every person going wild on the timeline, there was another nerd complaining about efficiency. There's a time and place for analytics, but using it to overshadow an incredible display of athleticism just ain't it. In that moment, no one cares if Edwards was 0 for 7 from 3. We just want to enjoy a play that reminds us why we became sports fans in the first place. Nerds have had a huge influence on sports over the last decade, where now efficiency is taking over the NBA with stats like PER. Someone like DeMar DeRozan gets heat for not taking the most efficient shots. But does it matter if he can consistently knock down clutch mid-range jumpers? You shouldn't need to scramble to a box score to validate what you're seeing on film. These guys aren't ones and zeros. Just watch the game and you'll be able to see guys like DeRozan are really good. There are even members of the analytics community who would tell you that Kobe Bryant or Allen Iverson aren't as great as we remember because they weren't efficient. And that's where I really draw the line, when you start trying to strip away the legacy of legends like that. If you can't separate stats from the heart of the game, just go back to your spreadsheets and leave sports to the real fans.
Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day, Jimmy. I know you said, who is that? I'll tell you.
That's the Memphis boy. That's the Memphis boy, ain't it?
But
I was making sure he had no sandals on. I was making sure he had sandals on with no socks, with socks on and his shirt tucked in. Sandals with socks on and his shirt tucked in. That's how y'all rock. That's what I was looking for. Memphis.
Hey, y'all. I was on Beale Street when it was warm, before COVID. I was on Beale Street, and I just had to tape that and share that with y'all. Yeah, that's Beale Street. Thank you, Barry. Do y'all see how talented our young people are, man? Did you see the dude whip his shirt off, Jimmy, while he was jumping? Jimmy, did you see that? Jimmy, he took his shirt off while he was flipping. You didn't see it. Let me show it one more time. Ain't but a few seconds.
I saw the shirt flip up.
Quit hating because he ain't from Houston. Come on, man. Hold up. I sit here and love this community all day long. And you gonna talk about my sandals. But guess what? Let's talk about what happened on Highway 6. I mean, no.
Well, in 5A, 5A.
Yeah, on Highway 9. Yeah.
That's over
Main and Foundry.
What they call it? The South Main Expressway or whatever.
I don't know what they
at Butler Fieldhouse last night.
Okay.
We definitely want to give you guys up to that, but want to first give props to Katy Paytow for picking up their second round win, 49-43 over Weiss High School. They will play Kingwood Park in the third round. Kingwood Park and Paytown. This is the 5A classification. Now, the winner of that game will play the winner of Crosby, is awaiting tonight's verdict from Northside and Goose Creek Memorial. Goose Creek Memorial is the favorite in this game tonight at 7 o'clock at Summer Creek High School. If Goose Creek wins, that's going to set up a hell of a border battle between Crosby and Goose Creek Memorial. Their two communities are adjacent to each other because Goose Creek is on the what would they call it, the north side of I-10, adjacent to Barrett Station, and Barrett Station is right, the connector, considered kind of like Crosby-ish. They're in the school district. They're zoned to their school for sure. But now, on the other side of the
Jimmy, stop. I want you to address this because I don't know. This is the kind of nonsense we got to stop. I'll let you know, Jeff, when you put stuff on this Facebook feed, me and Jimmy at some point going to address it because we're responsible for it. You just made a statement. I'm going to let Jimmy get it. I'm going to let Jimmy get this. You said, you're not saying no one is better than the other, but this kid does his thing every game and gets no love. Shit, we talk about him every damn week on this show. Jimmy, I'm going to let you address that. Who don't give nobody no love? Jimmy, that's your job. You the basketball. I've heard you talk about this dude. How in the hell did I know that he's one of the top scorers in the country? Jimmy Hicks. How the hell I know he was the number one scorer in the country? How the hell I know? Jimmy Hicks. So don't come and put that bullshit on this Facebook feed. Talk about don't nobody give nobody no love. Now, Jimmy, if you want to address it, you can go ahead on. If you put some bull crap on here, I'm going to address it. Now, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Jimmy, what were you about to say?
Well, I mean, there's other teams in the area, so I'm addressing those guys first, and I'm talking about the brackets in 5A. And the brackets in 5A, you have another game that took place last night, which is Manville. So Manville and Sean Walker and his crew, they picked up another blowout win, this time over Angleton, 71-44. Manville has won both of their playoff games by at least 27 points. This is impressive. That means they're beating.
I'm liking Manville.
Well, Manville is deep. Manville, if Sean Walker is not in foul trouble, this team is scary. Guess who they advanced to play? They will play Beaumont United.
Okay.
Beaumont United is undefeated, but this is the scariest matchup, I think, because Beaumont United different from Beaumont United is different. It's similar to Foster, but they have a much better congregation of ball handlers, which it means something when you're playing against teams that press.
That means a lot.
You see, so just like Foster, they have a big guy. They had big Deuce Foddery in the paint. But Deuce Foddery, you guys, I've seen Foster play this year. Deuce, we love Deuce. Deuce is signed with Texas A&M in football. His dad is the coach. His demeanor as a basketball player this year, it gave the vibe, the feel of a very content young man who has signed a football scholarship. However, I love to play basketball. It was fun to me.
Yeah.
But I love being around my dad because it's cool.
Right.
I'm gonna rock with my dad and play some basketball this last year.
Yeah.
And but don't expect me to go out there and try to get hurt and do all this other extra stuff. I'm just gonna go through and keep it.
Jimmy, he's more likely to get hurt playing that other stuff he's doing than doing what he's doing now. I'm just telling
you. And that's what. So Deuce, now Sean Walker at Manville, he signed with McNeese. He has an incentive because even though he signed with McNeese and he was going to play on the sneaker circuit this past summer, I think with, I want to say Nike Pro Skills, Drive Nation, he played one of them. And not only is him, but he has a couple of teammates that are trying to play their way into scholarships. Not saying that Beaumont United don't. But I think this is going to be an intriguing game. And guess what? Manville's coach, Chris Wilson, he's one of them coaches. If his ass get the lead on you, guess what he going to do?
He ain't no. I don't like him no more. I was just about to brag about him. I don't like him. Jeff know he my dude. But y'all, Jimmy, Jimmy, I don't like that. Now, Jimmy, hold on now. If it's 2 minutes left wait a minute. If it's 3-6, I used to have a rule. I got to be at least up 2 per minute before I'm not just gonna go give my damn lead away, but I'm gonna tell my guys to look for a good shot. I'm not gonna tell my guys to pull it out and do the Dean, what you call it, the boy Dean Smith, the sport. I ain't gonna do that. But I'm not gonna be careless. I'll just call the timeout. Look, guess what, y'all? We got enough points to win the game. Let's manage the clock. I ain't no coach, but I've been around this game a long time, and coaches used to tell me this stuff. So I'm just sharing it because I can't wait till you get to some of these games. Cause keep going, Jimmy. Let me get to the good part. It's 122. You know what everybody want to be.
You know what to parlay this thing on through.
Okay.
Now in Beaumont United and Manville, they have yet. They're getting the stuff together, the locations together as we speak. That's going to be a great game. It's expected to be on Saturday as well. And remind you, the teams that play Saturday, they have the option to play Friday. But they will also turn around and play on either Monday or Tuesday. That would be the regional obviously the regionals would be on Monday or Tuesday, right? The semis. And then next Friday and Saturday would be the regional finals. Now, remember, the regional tournament used to be, there is no more regional tournaments this year. Used to be a semi game on Friday and a championship on Sunday.
That's right.
That Friday game is moved all the way up 3 days to either Monday or Tuesday. You got a 4-day gap now. From the semifinal to the final. And each school has to agree on their own locations. Now, speaking of the 5A, and now we get down to the last quad. I mentioned Northside and Goose Creek. I mentioned that a while ago. They play tonight.
Jimmy, you know how we do. One of my favorite coaches, old Charles Sanders, used to be the assistant over at Bel Air. When Bel Air used to play against Westside, he on the feed. I ain't seen him in a long time. Shout out to Charles. I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't mean to interrupt, but that's my old dude, man. I used to love those battles of Westside versus Bel Air. And Jimmy, why don't y'all talk about Westside High School no more? You know, for real. Why don't y'all talk about them no more?
Westside don't talk about them no more?
Yeah. Why?
Well, the thing is, if you don't have players, out of sight, out of mind. Okay. If you're not winning.
Okay.
That's bottom line.
Okay. Keep going.
You know.
All right.
So now I mentioned Northside and Goose Creek Memorial. That's tonight at 7 p.m. in Summer Creek. I'm believing that's a second part of a double header, possibly. It could be a double header at Summer Creek. No. That's Thursday. That's tonight. The winner of this game will play Crosby. Northside, Goose Creek Memorial. I mentioned that a while ago. Crosby beat last night. Let's get right into it. 68-54. They beat Hightower. They dethroned the reigning Region 3 champion. And not only did they dethrone Hightower, let's say they mean Crosby, they did it in such fashion to as they outscored Crosby outscored Hightower 18-9 in the second quarter, 21-10 in the third quarter. In that third quarter, put it like this: In that second and that third quarter, PJ Haggerty outscored the whole Hightower team.
In the third quarter?
No, in the second and the third combined.
Okay.
In that 16-minute span,
what happened?
He outscored them combined.
Why wasn't we face guarding him? I mean, excuse me. Why wasn't Hightower face guarding and double teaming him then? If he did all that, I didn't realize that. If he did all that, why do you make an adjustment and say, hold on, now he killing us? I mean, just asking the question. I was watching it on one thing, and sometimes it'll freeze on me. You know, I don't know if y'all watch it. It'll freeze sometime. So I missed a couple of things. But what I saw, Jimmy, I saw a lot of bad shots and no floor balance that allowed those guys to get runouts. Jimmy, when you get runouts in a basketball game like this, a much anticipated game like this, Jimmy, that gives you confidence. Them runouts give you confidence because the game was close. Then I saw the runouts, and I know you keep up with the scores about what somebody. I'm just telling you little things I saw just looking through on a computer screen. Those bad shots by anybody seem like they just come out the. I don't know. They might be good shots some other time, but in a game like this, the guy shooting a long shot from Stephen Curry's territory and get a run out behind him is inexcusable. But he didn't come out the game. And I'm not calling no name. So when I see things like that, I just sit back and say, wow. Jimmy, I played golf a little bit yesterday, y'all. And I hit a wayward shot. Yes, I did. And I went over to find my ball. So as I was driving, I'm driving. I wasn't stopped. My cart starts sinking. They had to come and pull my cart out. I was stuck in the mud. Seemed like Hightower got stuck in the mud. And the wheel was turning, but and they had two phantom calls on the big guy, and he didn't have it because I kept seeing him look at the refs. I wasn't at the game. So when I see those kind of things, and Jimmy, I love what you said. There's no such thing as a bad game in a big game like that. There's no such thing. And I just think whoever that coach was with Cosby, I don't know him, but I wish I was there. I would have shook his hand. That man let me tell you something. Who is number 12? Jalen something, number 12? The wide receiver, Jimmy, let me tell you something. I want to shake his hand.
Yeah, Jalen Herman.
Oh, my goodness. Controlled the tempo. Y'all talking about a coach controlled the tempo of the game? Jalen Herman controlled everything about that damn game. So, hold up. This me watching the screen. I wasn't there. I even saw him get up in people. People push him off. He didn't care. He came back. I said, wow. Then Jimmy, he glassed somebody's shot, got the rebound, went 90, on kids might not be 94 feet. It might be a little shorter. 94 feet, Jimmy, and laid that thing. I said, let me tell you something. That coach from Crosby, I don't know what he told them boys. Those dudes, he seemed like he, all week, he pretended Hightower was a piece of filet mignon and had them boys, they hadn't ate all week. And when they saw them, he said, sick them. Sick them. I'm telling you, man, that's Jimmy. I'm sitting there watching this. I'm sitting there. I was thinking about my golf cart. Hightower was just stuck in the mud, man. Stuck in the mud. I'm sorry. Now, you might have another analogy. That's how I saw it.
Well, it's in this game, I went over there. I actually was scheduled to go to the Beaumont United in Foster game.
Oh, okay.
And I ended up having a production meeting over at the TV station in preparation for tonight's broadcast, and that lasted way longer than I thought. Hell, I didn't leave the TV station. Yeah, the meeting to 7 o'clock. So I look at the thing, TV station right by the Galleria. Say, shoot. At that time, I'm getting my updates from over there. It's halftime of the Beaumont of the United game. I say, hell, by the time I get out there to see King, it's gonna be fourth quarter. And sure enough, United start to pull away. I said, you know what? Let me check and see what it's looking like over at Butler. I'm only 6-7 miles away from Butler, from the Galleria. They told me the game before then was running behind, and they had to vacate the building before letting the other crowd in. They mean the HISD administrators. So, and they had a Atascocita and Shadow Creek girls played last night, and that was a regional semifinal game. That game was won by Shadow Creek girls. And so they had to get the people out before letting any of the other fans for the 7:30 game. So at 7:30, those fans, that game started a little bit late. Well, that gave me time to get over there. So I got there. And when I got there, guess what I see in the parking lot, Al? I got there in the parking lot. I'm trying to incognito my way, and just find out which door I need to go in, so I don't want to cause too much attention coming into the building. And Fabian White, the dad, I didn't know his daughter plays for Atascocita. So he was waiting in the parking lot, and I parked right next to him by default, didn't know it. And we get up chatting it up and talk for about 25 minutes out in the parking lot, me, him, and his wife. They hadn't seen him in a while. They're good people. Fabian White from University of Houston. His father's Fabian White Sr. And I was telling man, I was so filled to let him know, man, how good I felt watching Fabian on that court the other day when they played, who said they played at home? Cincinnati. And he hit that 3-pointer and Jaden White. I said, man, that's my dude, right? Certain kids,
good kids
that have great spirits, and their family have great spirits around them. There's no negative energy whatsoever. Those are the type of people you're rooting for in life. Not to mean
so you don't root for the other kids, Jim? You don't root for the other kids?
I just said not to say you're not rooting for nobody else. I'm saying those are a no-brainer. Those are free spaces in bingo. You're definitely rooting for those. Now back to the game. I get in the game. And going on inside the building right around halftime, right when the first half was ending. So I messed around, did a little talking, and took me a seat, watched the second half. So this is a 2-possession game when I got there. 33-27 was the score at the end of the second quarter. So 2-possession game, right? So I'm like, it's about to be rocking. Let me tell you, coming into the third quarter, we're skipping a little bit. I'm trying to make sure that the signal's right. Am I skipping?
Yo, you good. You good on the main feed. Yes, your stuff.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So Hightower came out the second half. Bryce Griggs guarded PJ out the gate. That was so. I guess I don't know who guarded who before then, but that was his initial assignment in the opening possession. PJ was, and Hightower couldn't score. Tyrone Baker got 3 block shots. I counted 3 blocks in that quarter, in the first half of that third quarter. 3 good blocks.
Who would take
couldn't score?
Who was taking the shots?
For who?
Hightower. Because you said they couldn't score. It matters who taking the shots.
Everybody was taking the shots. Everybody was taking the shots except Bryce Griggs. But at the same time, Crosby had a pair of candy defenses. They didn't use the same defense.
No,
they were
switched
mixing.
It up.
They were mixing stuff up. And understand this. This is not so much, and I'm gonna briefly entertain it, but this isn't so much as to what Hightower didn't do.
Yes.
This more so to me what Crosby did do.
That's why I
this
said
is the day. If you missed yesterday's show, I set this table for Crosby.
I don't miss what you say because I missed it.
I said yesterday that PJ Haggerty, this is the prime platform for him to get revenge from a year ago. PJ Haggerty is leading the state in scoring. I said that yesterday.
Yeah, but
I say this is the prime. If you PJ, I said you have to come and say, you know what? I'm gonna get me some get back. This guy sent me home last year. I'm gonna send him home this year. I didn't make a prediction, but I told you what PJ Haggerty had to do.
And he picked his spots because he was neutralized early. I mean, he wasn't doing that. But I'm telling you, Jimmy, when their confidence, I'm gonna tell you when he got his confidence. Those runouts from them terrible ass shots. I keep trying to tell y'all that Hightower was taking. Anybody can shoot the damn ball and come off the bench.
I've seen Crosby play 3 times this year. PJ, people that know PJ, that's seen PJ Haggerty play with this Crosby team, that's what he does.
Okay.
When they play Goose Creek Memorial or Northside next this Saturday, he's gonna leak. He's the leak out king.
No,
he's going to leak.
I ain't worried about him. I'm talking about the bad shots. The bad shots will give you confidence. Let me tell you something. If I'm playing a team and I got guys coming out there that I have never heard you talk about on this show before, shooting this damn ball from where Steph Curry shoots the ball, I promise y'all, I was outdone. But guess what?
Understand something. You said that PJ Haggerty was held pretty much in check in the first half.
I said he picked his spots.
No, I'm saying you also meant you said in the first half he was contained.
I mean,
in the first half.
Yes.
You didn't use the word contained. You said he was held. He was held. Basically, he was held. Something you mentioned. But my thing was. What did Bryce Griggs? I wasn't there in the first half. What was because normally you would think entering this game that those two can cancel each other out. Would enter in the game by the productivity margin.
Jimmy
would cancel each other out.
Jimmy,
that might have happened in the first half.
That coach, I don't know his name. I've never met him. That man had 3 dogs. I think it's number 5, number 2, and number 12. Let me tell you something. Hightower had nobody on their team to match the intensity of those 3 guys. Nobody. That coach said, I'm telling you, that coach walked in that gym, and I can tell the way during the timeouts, how them coaches was telling them guys, I told you if we do this, That coach had a plan. And it was masterful to me. It was the same thing I would have did if I played against a guy the caliber of Bryce Griggs. I would have did the same thing. But nobody never factored in, because you came on this show and talked about the best big men in the city. Nobody factored in that he would get 2-3 quick fouls. And then all I saw him was doing, he was doing this to the rest. Jimmy, that game didn't get out of place. It was to that spurt you talking about with that 21-10 in the third quarter. That game was still manageable. But number 12 just seemed like he just said, I don't care who I'm playing against. I got more intensity than anybody in this building, and he showed it. And that's what I saw. I just saw that. And unique game plan by the coach. And you just said it.
One of the things, understand, I saw a PJ Haggerty basically put on a show in the second half in that game. I saw a PJ Haggerty that scored. He hit. I mean, he got into a comfort zone where he was actually having fun in the process.
Yes. Confidence.
I saw a PJ Haggerty that grabbed 13 possessions away from Hightower in the form of rebounds.
Okay.
To go with his 30 points in this win.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't just a regular win. This was the big game.
Great win. Great job. I've never seen PJ Haggerty play like that. Ever.
So this was now, this is what I say all the time. Pay attention to the game after the game.
Well, I ain't worried about the game after the game. That man played against...
No, Hightower ain't, but Crosby better be.
I'm talking about me. PJ Haggerty showed me something to Robert Hatter. I ain't talking about y'all, because y'all got to do this all the time. I don't have to worry about this all the time. He showed me something yesterday that he showed me a sign of maturity. He showed me why everybody else, when he wasn't playing in the summer, he wasn't doing it. He told me he did the Damian Lillard shit. His body looked good. He came back. I mean, he just got better. Every time on this show, I tell y'all, if I don't see you for a long time and I come back and I see you do what he did, I'm talking about for me, Jimmy. I ain't talking about for your evaluation, but from me, Robert Hatter. So let's get this straight. I said this. I've never seen him play. Whatever he been doing it, he need to go back and keep doing it and keep doing, because he played the game. He picked his spots and played a masterful game and led his team. And hold on, by the way, number 33, and ain't nobody mentioned him all day. The big white kid on the team played a very vital work, because I know I talked about number 12, but number 33, I kept seeing him get a crucial tip, he was clogging up the middle. I mean, it just was a great, that coach on that team. I mean, I just a shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. A shout out to him.
And that's Sean Elkington.
Okay,
and
Sean
Elkington is a junior. Mind you, I warned you guys about this Crosby team. I said it last year. I say most of this team will be back next year.
You said that.
Look out for them. Y'all, wow. I say, all right, watch Crosby. I said it last year.
I didn't like him last year.
And guess what? Earlier this year, Crosby was taking lumps. And I warned you guys, the coach, the football team. Remember, if you look at the team last year, they are football players. This football team made it to the state 5A finals this season. This football team, they already see when teams are winning like that at a school, and that's what happened at a school like Shadow Creek. That's what happened and how you got it at other schools. When you get a jolt of success from your football program, and you already have a basketball program in place, not a basketball team, but a program in place, and you have success on the football field, that helps the self-esteem of the student body. That helps the whole swag of the school. That helps that makes it cool for the football lineman or the linebacker to say, man, I'm gonna go and play some hoops, man, because ain't no pressure on. I'm gonna help my school out. That's what you saw on the court last night with those guys in them red jerseys. Those were guys. They were having fun
and wasn't playing dirty. They wasn't playing dirty. They
were playing as good as hard as the referees would allow. And if you're a coach, you're gonna push that in a game of such, unless the referee Jimmy, don't allow it.
You just mentioned something, and I never thought about this. It's the first time I ever said this on this show. I looked at the bodies. I watched how physical these guys were. I watched how physical and look at the bodies of the Shadow Creek play. Do the Shadow Creek basketball team, do they work out with the football team? I'm just asking a question.
I don't know.
Those guys look physically. Now, Jimmy, now I'm gonna pull out my Jimmy Hicks. I'm gonna pull out my Jimmy Hicks. Pull out my Jimmy Hicks. The game after the game. Jimmy, why you always talk about the game after the game? Because you got to understand, they beat the mighty Bryce Griggs. I don't care what nobody said. That whole defense, that whole coach, I bet you all week somebody had a 32 jersey on the scout team, Jimmy. And everywhere he went, somebody was all over him like a cheap suit. So what do you mean by the game after the game? Because guess what? They ain't gonna play no Bryce Griggs the next game.
Well, the game after the game, what I mean that is a lot of times when a kid, when a kid like a PJ Haggerty, and it was big because last year was the high stakes poker game a year ago. At the time, they were 10th graders, he and Bryce Griggs. They were number 1 and number 2 in Greater Houston, respectively. Yeah. It was a huge debate on who was number 1 at the time. Yeah. And so that means that before that game, both sides pushed all their chips in the middle of the table. Before the game started, I'm calling you, let's do it. And that's what it felt like going into last year's game. It was. We didn't know.
Jimmy, that had a lot to do with one person on this Facebook feed right now.
No, but no, more than one. No, more than one. You had the TJ Ford basketball family that was behind. You had Alfio. You had John Uri. And they had all had a great reason to go and put energy behind
Bryce
PJ
wasn't worried about
sweat, and tears in that.
But Bryce wasn't worried about PJ. You said
it ain't about you being worried. I'm talking about people.
You said everybody pushed their.
Meaning that the people that was Bryce Griggs say, I'm betting my right pocket that Bryce gonna do this, go outplay this dude. And PJ Haggerty folks say, I'm betting my right pocket. That's how it was. And they said, okay, meet you at the game at Delmar Fieldhouse. Let's see him get it on. And they got it on in this very second round. And guess what? Bryce, the second half that Crosby put on Hightower was the first half that Hightower put on them a year ago. That's what happened. Now back to this thing. I'm telling you something. Understand? Like, and even John at the time, after that game was over, even though PJ Haggerty, he ended up scoring 28 points last year in that loss. But you watch that game, a lot of the points were scored long after the game was decided. But mind you, they had no summer. Both young men was pretty much robbed of an opportunity to play and increase their stock the old-fashioned way in front of the powers that be. So now PJ Haggerty it's kind of like neither one of them can go and increase that way. But Bryce stock increased because of the fact that Bryce Griggs, remember, they kept winning. And then Bryce Griggs Bryce Griggs, even before that, remember, this was the playoffs. So in that season, Bryce Griggs had a head start over PJ Haggerty because Hightower, coach, had got invites to play in a couple of tournaments or a couple of platforms that Crosby did not take advantage of because that coach, and understand, Crosby is not, their coach decided to not play in stuff because he wanted to wait until football season ended. He's not going to, so he did, and he was just like that. So here's what happens. After the game was over, it's no doubt who was the number 1 player a year ago between those two. If there was doubt, it was doubt afterward.
I don't get in all that. I mean, I'm gonna let y'all talk.
No, but that's part of. That's part of the conversation. Now you go and you move on. To this. Fast forward to this year. With all things considered, PJ Haggerty had been leading the nation in scoring, leading the state in scoring at 34 points a game. He scored 29 the other day. In this game, he produced a 30 and a W, 30-13 and a W against and the game was not only understand it wasn't just beating Hightower. You contained Bryce Griggs to what 12-13 points in the process.
Who contained him? Who contained him?
You contained him in your team.
Okay.
Your team, and you're the leader of the team. So therefore, it's gonna say at the end of the day, you're gonna say PJ Haggerty outplayed Bryce Griggs. Okay. PJ Haggerty, guess what, guys? We understand. If we could just grow to understand some things about these young people. We talk about these young people all the time. And there are gonna be times when certain kid is gonna have his day. This was PJ Haggerty's day.
Yes. So that's why I'm
saying. So in the process,
it ain't gonna
with
change.
With Hightower, Tyrone Baker did not meet the margin. Bryce Griggs did not meet the margin. And yet, lo and behold, we know the supporting cast did not meet the margin as a collective unit. Now, there may be one kid that might have scored more than he normally do. Yeah, but collectively, that supporting cast did not.
Jimmy, that really wasn't even no good game last. That game last year was a better game. That game last night wasn't even a good game. I mean, it was an ugly game. I'm sitting there watching it. It was an ugly game. But thank God, shout out to PJ Haggerty. Shout out to Bryce Griggs. Great career at Hightower. Hey, man, and guess what? Hey, I'm good with it. I saw and I knew the limitations of this team all year, but people didn't want to. I just said it, and people.
They were limited, but how to understand. And the rule of thumb has always been simple in public school basketball. Mm-hmm. You have a public school team with two high major prospects as upperclassmen, then you are probably going to be the favorite
like I
in
told
most games that you play.
And you
that don't mean
you're
going to be the favorite, but you are probably going to be the favorite in most games you play. Going into that game, Hightower was the favorite. If you had a betting line out there, they were easily going to be the favorite for some smart
because
money.
They got two guys that's high major prospects. Jimmy, I remember you said something. Let me tell you something. I remember you said something. We was talking about Dwight Howard. When Dwight Howard came here, I said, but he wasn't playing like an all-star. Jimmy, if you're not playing like that, Mr. Baker, what's the kid name? Mr. Baker got those 2 fouls and it hindered the kid. He did. If I came from Mars and I walked in that building, I wouldn't have think Tyrone Baker was the guy that you said, somebody just put it on the screen, that was the best big man in Houston. So if I just came from Mars now, I'm just telling you. So, it was a bad game.
It's a badass class of 2021. You guys know that. Let's stop acting like we know like them guys. We've seen, how many times have you seen Ashton Smith play and you lead the gym saying, how in the hell is that kid going to Texas A&M? How many times have you seen that happen? How many times have you seen, if you looked and you saw, you just name any one of those guys that ain't named Ramon Walker and say, man, I don't know how that dude going there. How did he sign there? This class is a class filled with inconsistency. So at the time, this kid happened to be the flavor of the month. He finally met his day. He was long overdue for it.
But he didn't play against another top guy.
What do you mean another top guy?
Did he play against another? Usually, Baker didn't play against another high major guy, a big guy, did he, last night?
No, that's not a high major guy. That's a Division I prospect, though. That's a Division I prospect.
So
that he played against.
Number 33.
Sean Elkin is a D1 prospect.
He should be, because he tore his ass up last night.
They don't should be. Go look in the rankings. He's ranked in the range of Division I.
I ain't y'all look at the rankings.
I'm just saying, so that means let you know the range he's in.
I know
he's a D1 prospect. He's an 11th grader. And guess what? He still has ways to go, but he's a prospect. That doesn't mean he's right there.
Hey,
Now, my
hey,
thing
hold on. What
once
my girl
again,
said?
that
Hold up. What my baby Ken Skiles said? What Kendall Hunter said yesterday? To whom much is given, much is required. And guess what? Those young people at Crosby, they seized that opportunity. PJ Haggerty led his team to a win, and they beat a high tower team that you thought was good. I just never thought as a team they were good, but I just never thought it.
they
Jimmy, you're not
Hightower
hearing
is
me.
good.
Will you listen to
You
me?
could be good and not play good on a particular night. They are good.
They were
They just did
destined.
not play good in the second, third quarter of last night and on after the first quarter. It happens. We've saw that if that's the worst meltdown you've seen in your life, something is wrong. I've seen far worse than high school
I
teams
just
that got
said,
that turned into butter in the skillet. But at the same time, the atmosphere created a memorable platform. So now the good thing that comes out of this is both of those schools will be 5A next year. Is Bryce Griggs returning to Hightower or not?
Jim.
That's the
You know what killed me? Jim, this would kill me. You know what? I ain't gonna even give him no energy. You know what? See, look what I did. I controlled myself. I didn't even give no energy. Fob, I'll let you off the hook right now. Okay, so let's go, Jimmy. Jimmy, you know it's almost that time.
Yeah,
what we got? What else we got?
Now, also want to remind you guys, you can go to RCS Sports. The brackets are posted on that website, rcssports.com. Click on playoffs, then brackets. You can see the brackets for most of the regions that surround the greater Houston area. And also you can follow through. They're being updated with matchups of the teams that won last night in a timely fashion. You guys also can go into the VIP news and get a recap from the last night's games that included the Hightower and Crosby. The detailed recap is posted inside the VIP news. You go to the VIP news, mind you, it is $2.50 a month, not a week, not a day, a month. $2.50 a month. That's less than a gallon of gas, right? So you go in there, you get the recap on the Sealsby game, you get the recap on the Hightower game, as well as the Ridge Point game. Plus, on the front of the website, rcssports.com, you guys can get timely. Jeffrey Day has that updated with a lot of good stuff on that as well. Recaps
Shout
also.
Out to Jeffrey Day, yeah.
Yes, he has. Remember, Side Creek played Travis. He has that recap on the front page.
And he got a video, Jimmy. He got a video. I finally saw a video. He sent me a video. Thank you, Jeffrey Day. He sent me a video of a couple of games. So thank you, man. Y'all, hey, your team, man, over there, him and Doug, man. Y'all done step y'all game up. Y'all step your game up.
Tonight, well, yeah, I mean, guys, they are. Hey, remember, those guys, I told you that it would be no comparison.
Yeah.
Well, after you just keep paying attention to RCS Sports and the productivity and the consistency that we spit out content on that website. It is unmatched. And I've checked around. There is no website in no city. I've checked New York, LA, Chicago. I've checked. No city has a website that's updated as often as far as a single metropolitan area that keeps you updated as often with content, not just video, but content, reading content than rcsports.com. And one thing about it, that's the thing about it. Guess what? That most of that stuff is for your complimentary viewing pleasure. The rankings, the team rankings, exactly. The playoff brackets, the district results, the front, all that, most of that stuff that's what it's for. You don't make a dime off of that.
I got a question. What happens this weekend? Does anything happen this weekend? Because this our last day. This Friday.
Yeah, this weekend is the middle school city championships taking place over this. It starts on Saturday.
So they don't play no more. The high school don't play no more the next week.
No, high school's on that bracket. How do you got to go? I got to go get your bracket.
I ain't had to. I got work to do. I ain't got time. Look at your goddamn bracket.
It's on the bracket.
Brackets yet. Hold on.
Go
But
click on that bracket.
I'm
You
gonna go
don't
look
need no
on the bracket.
hazmat suit to look at the bracket. Go look at the bracket. But don't forget, I mentioned the middle school championships is this Saturday. The games start at 11 a.m. We moved it from C.E. King Middle School to right down the street to Null Middle School. Null, Null Middle School. The schedules are on the RCS Sports app.
Okay.
Download our app. It doesn't cost a penny, and you get the schedules right now are populated for that. That's the middle school city championship. We took the champions from various school districts, and they all play in a tournament, which we're donating $500 to the winner
I got one
of each
question.
7th and 8th grade division.
Is McNair in it?
From what district
Junior
is that?
high. They won the Pearland. Those kids going to Shadow Creek.
No, they're not in it.
So Money Mike ain't in it.
That's a shame. That's a shame. Ain't my
fault.
fault.
Hold up, y'all. Do y'all know Money Mike is in the Shadow Creek School District? They won 2 years in a row.
Guess what? You know what that mean to me? They the red ant in that ant bed. This platform produces the
wait a minute. Hold on. But why y'all? Wait a minute. You scared to go out there and mess with? What? You didn't go out there and get them? Why not? Wait a minute.
They all were invited, Hatter.
Well, why they didn't come?
Invited. Every high school coach in Houston got an invite to send to his constituency middle schools. They were all that if they qualified.
Oh, Jock. Okay, Jock said they declined. Okay, I just want to know, man.
Yeah. They trust me. They got an invite.
Mike was gonna show out in your event, man. Mike was gonna show out in that event, player. I'm telling you. I'm gonna start cheering for Shadow Creek, man. When Money Mike, hey, next year, hey, Money Mike gonna be in the building, baby. Excuse me. Yes, Michael Collins, by the way. Google him. But Jimmy, I did want to ask you another question. I wanted to ask you one more thing. Jimmy, what about Chop Shop Overtime? You got something? What we got?
That's going to be on Saturday. Check out Chop Shop Overtime, and that's going to be 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on 92 KELZ, 92KELZ.com. You guys can listen to it from anywhere. Check that out in the morning. That's the Chop Shop Overtime. We'll have conversations, more talk about these playoffs.
Yes. Because
more games will be taking place and have completed from tonight. And the brackets will be pretty much more formidable. And also I have some ideas. And for a lot of the high schools that are still standing, I've already confirmed some of the locations where some schools could possibly play their regional finals at. So I've been doing a little homework for you guys, and I have my little chart right here, as you see, right here. I got it sitting there waiting, March 8th and 9th, waiting on you guys, and I'll share that with you on tomorrow's show as well. Don't forget, I'm sorry, not tomorrow, Saturday's show as well. As Saturday morning, 10 to 11 Central Time for you guys in different time zones. Also, make sure you share the show if you hadn't done so already. Share today's show to your timelines, to your friends. Let them know about the Chop Shop. We're going to keep these playoff conversations going. And we do it every year. It gets spiked up like
this.
This.
Dude, I love it. I love it.
You lose, you go home.
Yes,
if more people would think about that and spend more time understanding what's at stake. Everybody can't win them all.
You can't.
But guess what?
You can't.
As he said, and how to confirm.
Wait. Where Wesley Yates? Y'all, when can I see Wesley Yates in terms?
They play Manville.
When? When?
And I think Doug
you told me to look at the bracket. I'm gonna look at my bracket. I got it.
Doug, I think they're working on the times, but they have already confirmed it's going to be Saturday, 5 p.m. at Summer Creek High School. That's the game I'm going to be at. You know why? Because Knoll Middle School, where the middle school championships, the city championships is located 1 mile away, a mile and a half away from Summer Creek High School. That's not Shadow Creek, Summer Creek. They're going to play at Summer Creek High School Saturday at 5 p.m. I'm leaving that tournament, going right up in there and check out Manville and Beaumont United on Saturday. Jim, that's where I'll be at.
I got a question from last year. I went to your middle school event last year. Is any of the stars that was in that event Did they do anything? The ninth graders, did they make any noise at all in this year?
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah.
You remember the name?
Yeah. First of all, what come to mind, the two young men that played for Team Fox, right? And
what middle school did they play for?
And Summer Creek, they was at Wood Creek Middle School.
Okay.
I know one of them was at Wood Creek Middle School.
Okay.
Wood Creek Middle School. What's this young fella name? Is it one of them was Cameron Patterson?
Okay.
And Doug, help me out on this other little young fella name. Oh, Jaquil, the big fella.
Okay.
I can't think his last name. He started on varsity, had several games for Summer Creek.
Oh, Doug just mentioned. I remember this name, Jimmy Draylon Miller and Jared Harris. Them was my dudes right there.
Them the Silsby boys.
Them my little dudes. I love them little dudes. So
hey, Helen, that little dude that you just put is a freshman at Silsby. You know, understand something. Something. That kid. Do you understand that in the playoffs on varsity? Do you understand what he did the other night?
What?
What do he have?
Helping Doug.
20.
No.
Draylon had 14 and Jared Harris had 20. They had 34 points in a playoff game for Silsby. I told you the freshman is kicking butt at Silsby.
And I got a chance to see him at that event, that event you giving this weekend. That's how I got a chance to saw them kids.
Yeah, and you know what? That's so good about it because it gives us a head start. Yeah. And what happens is, it's the funniest thing in the world. We talk about this some more on Monday, or we probably talk a little bit about it on Saturday, on Saturday's overtime session as well. Is that sometimes a lot of you parents have to really narrow in what are you really seeking?
Okay.
Out of this stuff. That's a topic that's coming in. What are you really seeking for your kids?
And
do you want some hits, some likes, some followers? Right? Do you want some recruitment? Do you want a quick splurge, a quick spike of popularity? Do you want development? Right? Do you want academics? Do you want a big mix of both? People say that stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's a great academic school. Kid get to the school, don't play a lick, and guess what they're trying to do? Try to transfer out, go to a school that ain't an academic school. You know why? That means you lied. Either you lying in or lying now. We see it all the time. Man, they got great academics. Go there, don't play, and watch what happens. Academic stuff go out the window. You ain't studying about that stuff no more.
Oh man.
But what are you really seeking? Because the thing is, for an 8th grader, the entire staff on Sunday for sure, because I know Jeffrey Day and Doug Jones, they're going to be there for a little while in the morning, but they got to dash off and watch games on Saturday afternoon. We'll be covering and watching these players play. So that means Doug Jones, Jeffrey Day, and myself, at least, not to mention other guys that may be coming in with some eyeballs, will be watching these 8th graders. Do you understand what that means? It makes it now when you see these kids, like you just said, you just remember the kid from last year. Yeah. And I remember this dude.
Yeah.
I remember Jaquil, and I remember Big Aaron Fox walking around and like, man, saying that, man, that's my kid right there. He's gonna be all right.
You know who I want to see? Who my little kid that was he was in the district in Hightower, but he didn't go to Hightower. I think he went to the Elkins. The lone kid, the one was dunking. The tall, slender one. He lost in the finals. But he was supposed to go. I thought he was going to go to Hightower, but I think he went to Elkins. He went to Lake Olympia.
The show did. That was just last year.
Yeah, he was balling, man. I just knew he was a freshman. I knew he was going. Jacoby.
That was 2 years ago.
Jacoby, that's his name. Jacoby. Yes.
Jacoby, yeah.
See that? Yeah, hey, man. I might. Hey.
He did play. Hey. Doug says he's on the JV at Elkins. He on JV, which is great for him.
Jacoby Osborne. That's his name. That's my dude. I love him. Hey.
He played at this event.
I might have to put my hazmat suit on, man. I got to see these youngsters,
I love that middle school event. You know why? Because
it's
right now it's one location, 2 courts. Both are wood courts, great courts over at Noah Middle School. And you can just go and then watch it. And guess what? The games are only from 11 to 5. each day.
Man.
So that means not too early. We ain't in the gym all day. 11 to 5. 11 to 5.
Jimmy, you
Make
forgot.
sure you
I
download
presented
RCF.
Jimmy, I helped you present him with the check and the trophy last year. I was a part of the ceremony. And now this damn COVID that got me not coming nowhere. Putting on my hazmat suit on y'all's ass this weekend.
You just wanted to make sure that check was. You wanted to make sure that check was good.
I said, boy. I said, don't spend this all in one place now.
When people get that check and understand, that means that's validation that whoever wins, they get the donation right on the spot. And that's how it's going to go down as well this weekend for somebody on Sunday. Shout out to Hitchcock's ISD, Crosby High School.
Yeah.
Hitchcock ISD's Crosby Middle School. They won the 7th grade division last year. They are returning to defend their throne as 8th graders. They haven't understand this team hadn't lost a game since they've been in middle school.
I heard about. Hold up, that's what happened to Lake Olympia. They hadn't lost a game in a long time until they lost in the finals.
Until they ran up to Silsby.
Yeah.
Hey, that was a good game.
It
went down to the wire.
Yes. Shout out to Heaven. Heaven is on the feed. Jimmy, what's up, Heaven?
Heaven Dark's in the house, man. That's our girl, Heaven, man. We miss Heaven. And guess what, guys? If Heaven is on the scene right now, that means she's coming to give us an eye, letting us know it's time for us to get to slide down Dino's back and yabba dabba do this thing.
To do us like that.
Out of here. Gotta keep it rocking. I gotta get somewhere for 4:00 for a meeting. Anyway, got games tonight around the area. I don't know where I'm gonna be at yet. Yes, I do. Got the TV game. I'll be at Delmar. You guys, Tascasita and Straight Jesuit. James Posey's son is the leading scorer at Straight Jesuit. He's a sophomore. Got a chance to be special, and he'll be on live television tonight.
Yeah.
And another thing, you think that stuff is not special?
I'm gonna check him out.
Stop taking these opportunities for granted. You don't get this stuff in most cities, and a lot of people don't realize all of the platforms that you have in Houston. You got to embrace this stuff a little bit better and just be more appreciative. Thank everybody for tuning in. We love the conversations, man. For everybody giving on in the Boom Boom Room. Share the show again. Shout out to my people in YouTube land as well as the Facebook. Follow us on all platforms. Chop Shop HTX. And guess what? Don't forget to watch my segment during halftime of tonight's game.
Tip of the brim.
A tip of the brim. A tip of my brim, that is. And I'll be talking about a lot of the recaps of the games this week, as well as I got something special for the young ladies this week. Kendall Hunter, Rory Harmon. I got something for y'all. Watch the show tonight. Check me out. Chop Shop. Peace. On behalf of Robert Hatter, Jim Hicks. We up out here, guys.
Let me hit that. Let me find that button, Jimmy.
Jim Hicks. Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live